Is it possible that the world's biggest tech firms have too much control over the App Store market? When we think about the App Store market, two names often spring to mind: Apple and Google. These tech giants have their fingers on the pulse of the digital world, controlling the flow of applications to billions of devices worldwide. However, their dominance hasn't gone unnoticed or unchallenged. Companies like Spotify and the Match Group have voiced concerns about the tech behemoth's market power. They argue against what they see as anti-competitive behavior and high commission charges, asserting that these practices pose serious challenges to smaller developers trying to carve out their space in the app market. In counter, Apple and Google argue their platforms have played a significant role in enabling developers to reach a global audience, thus fostering a thriving digital ecosystem. They maintain that their practices are fair and beneficial to both developers and users. The narrative is thick with tension and high stakes, but in this tale of giants, there are those willing to stand against them. But what happens when a country decides to challenge this dominance? Japan has decided to step up and take action against App Store monopolies. This bold move didn't just happen overnight. Let's take a look at the timeline of events that led to this decision. The first whispers of discontent echoed in early 2023, when executives from Apple and Google were accused of anti-competitive behavior during an antitrust hearing led by US senators. Spotify and Match Group claimed that these tech giants were using their dominant positions to charge high commissions to app developers. They painted a picture of the app marketplaces as anti-competitive monopolies, with the App Store fee being their largest expense. Fast forward to October 2023, in the midst of Google's antitrust trial, the tech giant held a product launch event that was well received by investors. But beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. In Japan, Google phones were gaining market share, while Apple's share was declining. This shift in the market dynamics was a clear indication that the monopoly of these tech giants was not invincible. As we moved into 2024, Japan made its move. The country announced plans to introduce regulations that would require tech giants like Apple and Google to allow third-party app stores and payments on their mobile operating systems. This legislation was designed to prevent these companies from abusing their dominant position in the Japanese market. The regulations will not only focus on app stores and payments, but also on search, browsers, and operating systems. This broad approach is aimed at ensuring a level playing field for all players in the tech industry. It's clear that Japan is taking a comprehensive stand against monopolies, shifting the power dynamics in the tech world. This decision by Japan could potentially change the landscape of the App Store market. Japan's stand against monopolies is more than just a regulatory move. It's a message to the world that the reign of tech giants cannot go unchecked. It's a call to action, urging other nations to follow suit and ensure that the digital landscape is a place of equal opportunities, not monopolistic dominance. The ripples of this decision are sure to be felt far and wide, making it a defining moment in the history of tech regulation. So, what does this mean for the tech giants and the App Store market as a whole? Well, the introduction of these regulations in Japan could potentially shake up the status quo. For Apple and Google, it could mean a redistribution of power and revenue. If third-party app stores and payments are allowed on their mobile operating systems, they could see a significant decrease in their commission earnings. This could prompt a reassessment of their business models and their approach to app developers. But it's not just Apple and Google who need to pay attention. These regulations could set a precedent for other tech giants who operate in a similar manner. Companies like Amazon and Facebook, who have also been criticized for their alleged monopolistic practices, might find themselves under increased scrutiny and pressure to modify their operations. Now let's take a step back and consider the bigger picture. If Japan successfully introduces these regulations, it could inspire other nations to follow suit. This could create a ripple effect, leading to a global shift in the way tech monopolies are handled. It's a significant move that could reshape the tech industry on a global scale. To summarize, we've discussed the dominance of tech giants like Apple and Google, the concerns raised by other companies about their monopolistic practices, and the bold step Japan is taking to introduce regulations. All of these elements are part of a complex and evolving narrative about power, control, and fairness in the tech industry. As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how these tech giants navigate these changes and how other nations respond to Japan's bold move.